Most people believe they choose their partners through conscious decisions, through preference. Welcome to emotional shadow, compatibility, attraction, or shared values. What if the paths we take toward love and the reasons we run away from it are shaped by psychological forces we never see, never question, and never admit exist? There is a silent script playing in the background of every relationship, a shadow psychology formed long before adulthood, influencing who we trust, who we chase, who we push away, and why certain people feel dangerously irresistible even when they are wrong for us. Today, we uncover that script, revealing the hidden architecture of love that explains everything from sudden emotional distance to intense attachment, from repeated heartbreak to the strange pull toward the same type of partner again and again. To understand this hidden code, we have to go back far beyond dating culture, relationship advice, or even communication skills. Pioneered by John Bowlby and expanded by Mary Ainsworth, expose the idea that adults then to love freely. They love according to patterns created in childhood, the unconscious motives and wounds we hide even from ourselves. Sigmund Freud revealed how early relationships shape adult romantic behavior through repetition and projection, and more modern theorists studying emotional systems explain how love follows predictable loop cycles of closeness and distance, fear and desire, control and surrender. But what no one expected was how these theories blend together to reveal a hidden mechanism that quietly pushes people together or tears them apart without their awareness. This twist sets the stage for the deeper truth. You're not just loving from the heart, you are loving from the wounds you never healed. To unravel this story, let's begin with the origins of the issue. Every person enters adulthood with an internal map of love. It is emotional, unconscious, and deeply wired. A child who felt inconsistent warmth learns to chase. A child who felt smothered learns to pull away. A child who felt unseen learns to overgive in hopes of being valued. These early emotional imprints form the shadow psychology that later decides who feels safe, exciting, or comforting, even if that comfort is toxic. The anxious partner becomes hyper-tuned to every silence. The avoidant partner becomes overwhelmed by emotional closeness. The wounded partner seeks validation, while the emotionally detached partner seeks control. Relationship dynamics start to orbit around unmet childhood needs, disguised as grown-up choices. As relationships develop, the impact of these hidden forces grows stronger. Someone not texting back fast enough, someone needing too much reassurance, someone shutting down during conflict are actually symptoms of deeper psychological loops. One partner's fear triggers the other's defenses. One partner's silence activates the other's panic. The shadow psychology begins shaping behavior automatically, without conscious thought. People think they are reacting to their partner, but they are actually reacting to their past. This is the point where relationships begin to drift, not because love disappears, but because invisible emotional programs take over, pushing couples into predictable patterns of distance, blame, or emotional paralysis. Eventually, these patterns reach breaking points. When the anxious partner feels ignored, they become demanding. When the avoidant partner feels pressured, they detach further. When the controlling partner feels insecure, when the conflict-avoidant partner is overwhelmed, they shut down completely. These breaking points create a sense of betrayal, even though no one intended harm. Emotional intimacy cracks, trust weakens, and communication collapses. Both partners feel misunderstood, unappreciated, and emotionally unsafe. And because people rarely understand the psychological root of the problem, they blame each other, even though both are trapped inside the same invisible system. The consequences on intimacy are profound. The more a couple struggles, the more deeply the shadow psychology anchors itself into the relationship. Emotional distance grows. Resentment builds. One or both partners begin to wonder whether they chose wrong, whether they're incompatible, or whether love is fading. Attempts to fix the problem, talking more, pulling back, compromising, or setting boundaries, often fail because they treat symptoms, not causes. You cannot fix a connection problem by addressing surface behavior when the real battle is happening beneath consciousness. The real conflict is not between Taluvazit, is between their unmet needs, their fears, their unspoken expectations, and their emotionally inherited relationship scripts. When we connect this understanding to modern relationship issues, the patterns become even clearer. Today's couples face amplified psychological triggers, rapid communication, constant online comparison, fear of rejection, and pressure to maintain perfect love. Data shows rising anxiety in romantic relationships, increasing emotional detachment, and more frequent communication breakdowns. Manipulation, often unintentional, shows up as guilt trips, silent treatment, passive aggression, love bombing, or emotionally withholding. People replay the same emotional cycles in new relationships without realizing the pattern is internal, not external. Modern dating platforms have made emotional attachment more fragile because the brain is constantly exposed to alternatives, creating insecurity and emotional volatility. As these psychological cycles repeat, a silent war forms beneath the surface of relationships, a shadow war between desire for connection and fear of vulnerability. The hidden truth is unsettling. Most people enter love with good intentions but broken emotional tools. The shadow psychology guiding each step toward or away from love isn't malicious. It's neglected. And without understanding these internal forces, couples continue making the same mistakes, misreading each other's intentions, and interpreting emotional reactions as personal attacks, instead of old survival responses being triggered. 3 essential takeaways can help anyone begin to break these patterns. First, emotional awareness is the foundation of healthy connection. You cannot change what you cannot see, and understanding your emotional triggers is more powerful than changing your partner's behavior. Second, secure communication is only possible when both partners feel safe expressing themselves without fear of punishment, judgment, or emotional withdrawal. Safety creates honesty, and honesty creates intimacy. Third, healing requires intentional effort. Learning new emotional patterns, understanding your partner's fears without taking them personally, and building a communication system that replaces assumptions with clarity and compassion. But even with this knowledge, there remains a caution worth remembering. Love is fragile, not because people are weak, but because emotional wounds are persistent. Even the strongest relationships can be shaken by misunderstandings, rooted in past experiences. People are not battling each other. They're battling invisible emotional histories they never chose. The shadow psychology guiding your relationships will continue to operate, whether you acknowledge it or not. The choice is whether you let it control you or you learn to understand it. If you found this exploration meaningful and want to dive deeper into the hidden forces shaping connection, communication, and emotional intimacy, make sure to subscribe, share your thoughts in the comments, and explore more content on the channel. There is much more to uncover, and every insight brings you one step closer to understanding yourself, your partner, and the psychology behind lasting love.